Hey guys, Chris Dunn here, aka the Boogie Man. It is, hell, it's sometime. It's Wednesday, November to something. It's been crazy between elections and all this shit and who's the president and who ain't the president and this and this and that. The whole world's coming to an end, you know what I mean? But good thing is we're going to talk about some drag racing and damn politics. So, here we go. We went last weekend to the SEGA race. We tested on Friday night. We made a couple of passes. Actually made about 3 passes, or let me rephrase it, we made 2.5 passes. The lack of me not focusing on this car like I should bit my ass again like the little bolt did last time. What happened was we go out to do our first pass and I do this big old long, beautiful 250-foot burnout, which the backup girl hates you for because she has to run her ass way out there and then run with you way back. So, you know, the whole time they're going, please don't do a 300-foot burnout because I got to go half track and get you. Making a long story short, I had forgot to tighten up the bolt in the reverse lever linkage and it fell out, so we had no reverse. So basically we couldn't back up the stage, so we had to take on off. I come back, I tighten the bolt up, and in my defense, you guys just don't know how hard I work or how many hours I work next door at Done Right. I come over here and try to do work for people I got in here, not counting Boogie Tech, not counting trying to race a gasser. It takes up a lot of my 7 days a week, and I missed that, and that's on me. Now let's talk about the car. The car's getting there. I'm stoked about the car. We went out the first pass. Blew the tires off between the gear shifts. I could feel it. The new gearing package is really, I think, spot on, or it's so close that it may be just us tweaking a gear instead of a whole. We may just be tweaking a second gear or a third gear ratio, but we're really, really close. We went out, blew the tires off, made a killer pass, come back. I could feel it blowing the tires off. So we made 2 corrections. And what we would normally do in that is an air pressure adjustment is mainly what we would do. If we're launching good and we've got good 60 foots and we had like a killer 60 foot, we're not gonna go in there and loosen shocks up and try to transfer weight because that's not gonna help us out track. You know, out track air pressure is gonna help us. So we raised the air pressure up. We might have went a little too much. It was kind of me and Jim's call, and me and him I said, let's go up here, and we put a little much more than really what we needed in the tires. So we go back for a second pass. it hooked so hard it knocked the breath slam out of it. And it lost a tenth in the 60 foot. But then run this damn crazy ass number out the back door. But at this point, we're running through the clutch. So now it goes out in mile an hour, the most it's ever mile an hour before in its lifetime. And here I am, I can hear it running through the clutch. And I'm going, oh my God, we're just burning the clutch, slam up, because it's when we went to third to fourth, you could just hear it. And I could feel it between the other gear shifts. At that point, it was late in the night. For me to get in here and adjust a clutch in the nighttime, I have to get under it, I have to pull a little access panel, or, and I have to go in there and I have to do some turns, and it was really late. It was probably 9:30 at night, so we really didn't go no farther. So what we're gonna do this week that now we're back, we didn't race on Saturday, we just hung out and enjoyed ourselves with all the other racers, and a lot of racers I ain't seen in 3 or 4 years. And I really missed, so I got to really just fellowship all day, and I actually enjoyed that probably than I would have racing, the truth be known. We're going to Hope, Florida next. That's actually in about a week and a half from now. And this is what we're going to do to the car. I don't tell you all our secrets, because if I did, that'd just be dumb. But what we're going to do is we're going to go in there and we're going to do some clutch work. I've got a clutch in here that I actually modify myself to a degree. I think it's working good at one point, and we're just trying to get it to work great. We look at a drag strip in 3 sections. Okay, and I'm gonna give everybody some advice. This is the way we look at it in this gasser. We look at 60 foot, we look at 330, and then we look at 660. That being said, I'm so stoked with the 60 foot this car's doing, and this clutch is working perfectly like we would want it to do for 60 foot numbers. But we're not happy with the 330 number. So we've got to find the combination that this clutch is gonna like to improve the 330 number, and then if we get the 330 number improved, then we'll see what happens from 330 to 660. It's just a process. We don't look at it as one part of a racetrack, the way we drag race. We actually go in here, me and Jim, and look at it as 3 sections of a track. We're working 60 foot, then we're gonna work 330, then we're gonna work 660. So we've got one piece of the 3 pieces of the puzzle where we want it. So now we've got to go work the other 2 pieces to get them where we want it. But like I said, this clutch there's not a clutch like this. Nobody else runs a clutch like this. I have the disc kind of put together the way I want it, and then I actually take the disc back apart here at Done Right, and I put some more things in it that I'm not going to tell you right at the moment, that we trick out the disc some more, and then we do some other stuff to the pressure plate. I've been accused a lot of times of thinking outside the box and trying to reinvent the wheel. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I'm trying to keep the wheel from costing me a bunch of money. Back when I raced with the SEG in 16, I spent thousands of dollars on transmissions. And I learned then, and the car used to have a bad left hook in it. If anybody has followed this car in 16, 17, it would have a bad left hook. It took all of that to me to understand what causes my left hook. A lot of people's gonna disagree with this racing right now, but trust me, your clutch 99.9% of the time is causing your left hook because of clutch settings. Then you got to, once you get the clutch setting there, then you got to go fight suspension settings to try to get this left hook out. I don't argue with nobody no more about it. I know what it does because I've been there. I've spent $1,000 tearing up transmissions before I figured this out. We're right at that point that I feel like the car is at the verge of maybe, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think it'll set an ET record. I don't think so. That don't mean it won't. I don't think it will, but do I think that this car right now will run and be in the fight with the rest of the A-gas cars? Definitely. I know what the car's running. I know how bad my driving is right now, which affects this car's ET numbers like crazy. You know, when you ain't made but 5 passes all year and you're sitting here getting your timing down and all of that, it's a lot to it. Like I said in last episode, this is not as easy as everybody thinks it is. At the end of the day, we're going to keep you guys in tune to what's going on. Next episode next week will not be about the Boogeyman. We're actually going to move over and we're going to go back into the shop for a little while, and we got this badass 29 Roadster that we're going to do a lot about. The more we've worked on this car, the more I've worked around this car, the more I've found so many you do not do's when you're building and the steering system on one of these cars. We're going to walk you through that, and we're not, and let me make this clear, we're not knocking on who built the car. I don't know who built the car. My friend bought the car as it was. I don't know who built it. I'm not knocking on who built it. I don't care who built it. But what I will walk you around next week is what not to do when you're building these cars, these straight axle little roadsters, and when it comes to steering. You can't do this stuff because it will hurt somebody, okay? And then I'm not knocking on you, but if you're gonna build a hot rod and you're gonna go out here and charge people to build a hot rod, remember this. When you build somebody a car and you lay your head down at nighttime, hope to God you can sleep that you didn't kill them. And that's the other part of this that people forget when they build these hot rods. All these hot rod shops across the United States, little mom and pop operations, or the little Joe Fred in his backyard said, I'm gonna build me a hot rod. Just remember one thing. If you don't tighten up a bolt or you don't build something right, you could kill the driver, his kids, his mother, his wife, and his family. And one thing that I have took my pride for all these years when I built hot rods, which I don't do for the public no more, or if I built a drag car or whatever I've done, I take that completely serious, that I can lay my head down at night knowing that I would drive it. I'd put my mama in it, I'd put my daddy in it, and I'd put my future kids, if I ever had any, in it also. Anytime you build somebody a race car or a street car, their life is in your hands. Chris Dunn, AKA the Boogie Man.